Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven, and I love talking about horror. And on this channel, there is no PG-13 slander. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. So happy you found my channel. Hopefully you stick around for a while. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm very happy to see you again. The PG-13 rating makes horror movies so incredibly accessible for younger horror fans that are just dipping their toes into the genre, trying to get their horror education on. I mean, I myself, my most formative horror movie watching years were in middle school and high school, and the only thing to do in my town on Friday night was to go to the movies. Every week my friends and I would go and find something scary to watch, and it was honestly the best time. And it was just so much easier when there was a PG-13 horror movie that was out and we didn't have to go sneak into an R-rated one. For legal reasons, I'm not advocating anybody that is underage go sneak into an R-rated movie. I still see discourse on horror Twitter every time like a new PG-13 horror movie crops up, where you'll have people arguing that they like PG-13 horror movies and then people arguing that they're always crap, which I think is just so subjective. Like, you can't objectively say they're all bad. You just can't. So I just wanted to talk about, as the title suggests, the PG-13 horror movies that scared the fuck out of me. And this list is in order of how badly they scared me. So let's begin with Insidious. This is at the bottom of the list because there's really just one quick moment within the movie that scared me. It didn't really have like a lasting effect after the movie was over, but within the moment, a little poop might have come out. And I think y'all know exactly what part that is. And I'm reminded of this scene every fucking time I look up this movie, or this movie is included in like an article or a listicle or something like that, because they always use this image of that scene in the article somewhere. It was just like, watching the movie, it was just such a quick jump scare, and it just happens so fast and in broad daylight too. It's like, I love and hate when horror movies do that because it throws you off your game a little bit, because we're all just expecting all the scary stuff to happen at night. Also, fuck you, whoever's decision that was, because don't make me feel unsafe during the daytime. Come on. But watching this movie in the theater, my soul genuinely left my body for a significant amount of time when that happened. Next is Darkness Falls. Maybe kind of an odd choice. I understand that. I used to watch this movie all of the time when I was a kid. Like, my brother and I would get just like obsessed with movies. Like, every time we discovered a new one that we even like mildly enjoyed, we would obsessively watch it to the point that it was maybe a little bit concerning. So like, there was like a 2-week period where we just watched nothing but this movie. It plays on the idea that you're safe in the light and not in the dark, like kind of like Lights Out, but before Lights Out was a thing. As an 11, 12-year-old-ish, when I saw this movie for the first time, nah, I was scared. Nowadays, when I rewatch this movie, I get a good chuckle out of it, but man, like, that tooth fairy was scary. Coming in right at the middle is The Woman in Black. I will admit, I'm a little bit embarrassed that this movie scared me as much as it did. I have like kind of an explanation for this, but also I kind of don't. There's just something about the movie that was just deeply unsettling to me, and I was just uncomfortable the entire time watching this movie. I was so scared. To be a little bit more specific, I did find out while watching this movie for the first time that I have a very specific fear of like dark hallways. Even more specifically when there is a silhouette of a person or something else within that darkness just waiting. Fuck that. I don't know. I had no idea that I found that scenario that scary until I saw this movie. That woman had no business being that scary. Not to mention the idea of like this estate in the movie in general, where you could potentially just get trapped there all night because of the fucking tide. Like, nah, fuck it. Fuck that movie. Taking second place is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I remember when I first saw this movie, I'm almost positive it was in a movie theater. I would have just been old enough to have gone to see this by myself. And Jennifer Carpenter just really fucking delivered. The contortion she does throughout was deeply unsettling. It's really upsetting to me, like it really freaked me out. But the barn scene, like the height of the exorcism in the movie when they're in the barn, it's that bit where everything kind of like goes dark a little bit, like the lights kind of come down a little, and like Emily's eyes are just black and all you can see are just these two little like pinpricks of light reflecting in her eyes. And oh, I think that was definitely one of my first experiences with a scary scene that wasn't a jump scare. Like it wasn't just like really loud music all of the sudden and something popping out from behind a wall. It was that more subtle kind of scare that seeps into your bones and it follows you home. Like I thought about that barn scene for weeks after seeing this movie. Love the movie now, really love it, but god damn it did it scare me. And finally, in first place is The Grudge. In this case, I am specifically talking about the American remake, just because I happened to watch it first. I unfortunately didn't get around to seeing the original Japanese movie until a little bit later in my horror education. And I've always found this one to be a lot scarier than The Ring. Just something about haunted houses just really gets to me. I will consume haunted house stories all day long, but they do terrify me. That's definitely one of the scariest like subgenres in horror. The peak of scariness in a movie that largely just freaked me out was the bed scene, of course. It was so incredibly effective, but so mean. Like the filmmakers really said,
"Oh, you feel safe in bed? Fuck you."
I don't remember when or where I saw this movie for the first time. I really couldn't tell you. What I do vividly remember is getting ready for bed the evening that I saw that. I was all ready for bed and I just could not bring myself to get under the covers. Literally my brain was just showing me nothing but that image of that ghostly face hiding under the blanket. And yeah, for like the next 2 or 3 nights, I did not sleep under my comforter. And it's because of these movies that I will forever die on the hill that PG-13 movies can be scary. Honestly, I think a lot of them should be applauded for, you know, presenting us with these incredibly scary and unsettling concepts with the restriction of the rating. Like you're limited in what you can do in a way, but the fact that they can still present something that's incredibly scary, I think, under those limitations is rather impressive. Please, please, if there are any PG-13 horror movies that you remember scared the bejesus out of you, let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It helps me out. Or don't. That's fine too. If you're new here and you aren't already, maybe subscribe, become a creepy peep today. You could also not do that, I guess. That's an option. Either way, I hope to see you again soon, specifically next Saturday with a new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye!